Welcome to Off the Boards with Josh and Ryan. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off the Boards. As always, I'm Josh. Connor is here. He's physically on the screen. Editor, producer of the show, Connor. We love this guy. Ryan decided to go camping this weekend, but lo and behold, 2 seconds ago, right as we started recording, he popped on GTA. So Ryan, fuck you. I asked Ryan to come onto the show, and he said, and I quote, "I am too hungover, but I'm not hungover enough to not play GTA." Yeah, Ryan, fuck off. Lots of moves this week. Lots of interesting things in the NHL. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I know that I said it on the draft video that we did, but Gavin McKenna is a Leaf. He signed his ELC. He's going to play with the Leafs next year, wearing number 92. We will get into the rest of the moves that the Leafs have made this summer, but I wanted to start with probably the team that has done the worst so far through free agency, the Anaheim Ducks. Like, this team, in my opinion, was probably like one or two pieces away from actually contending for a Stanley Cup. I mean, you could argue they were contending last year, but they lost 4 players off their defense. And Philly, God, Danny Briere must hate the Ducks. Like, he must hate the Ducks because he got Leo Carlsson to sign an $18.5 million contract for 5 years, making him the highest paid player in the NHL. And I'm not saying Leo Carlsson doesn't deserve that kind of money, but my God, we're paying this guy based off of what he could do and not what he has done. He had 60 points last year, or 65, I think, in like 70-something games. So that's just wild to me. And it puts the Ducks in a bad spot. I mean, the Ducks had $44 million in cap space. They still needed to sign Mintyukov. They needed to sign Carlsson, cut our Gautier's contracts up. They have a lot of guys that they needed to sign. And the Phillies just like, watch this. And then exactly. And then they did that shit. But I mean, no signings. They made no signings day 1, 2, 3, or 4, or even 5 at this point of free agency. They've made no trades other than to take players away. They haven't added anyone. Like, you trade Zellweger at the draft. You traded John Carlson's rights. You lost Trouba. You lost Radko Gudas. It's like, man, what are you guys doing? Like, the one thing that they did add was AJ Greer, who they did sign to a 4-year, $4.25 million contract per year, so $17 million total. But, I mean, AJ Greer that's not getting you over the hump when you have no one playing defense for you. Your defensive core is now left to, I mean, I'm going to look it up real quick, but I know you guys have Mintyukov, assuming you guys can sign him. But right now, you guys have Pavel Mintyukov, who you have to sign, Tyson Hines, who you have to sign. The only defenders you have under contract right now are Jackson Lacombe, pretty good, Nick Jensen, who is 35, Ian Moore, who's 24, Drew Hellison,
yeah,
and Tristan Leno.
And I think they have Tyson Hins. Tyson Hins is the other one. And then,
he's
like you
RFA'd.
Is he RFA'd? Yeah, okay. So he needs to be signed,
and
then Mintyukov also needs to be signed, right?
So it's like, you guys, like, okay, so like, I could assume Mintyukov's going to sign, so he'll play number 1 minutes with the Lacombe next year. But then you guys have no top 4. Like, there's no one playing second pair. Like, all these guys are probably third pair guys. Like, you guys have drove yourself into a mess. Like, Lucas Dorstal is going to have to play on his head next year to do anything. And that's assuming you guys are able to get, like, you guys match Leo. I mean, I don't know if you do match. I think that you should, because 4 first-round picks is not worth that much. I mean, if you're the Ducks right now, right, and you know you're not going to match, I mean, you could try to screw Chicago over. Connor Bedard still hasn't signed yet. I know that he has a shoulder injury, and God knows if he's going to play next year and at what capacity, but I mean, Connor, what do you see the Ducks doing here? Like, because they're kind of screwed. Like, Chris Kreider's got a big contract. Alex Colhoran's got a big contract. There's another guy on this team. Who am I thinking of? Did they move him? Oh, Frank Verano. He's making 4.75, and I think he only had like 10 points last year. He had 9 points in 50 games.
Yeah.
Like,
what? Yeah, I don't think it's much of a question that the Ducks definitely got worse by far. That's not even a question. I think the question is more so like whether they're just trying to take like if it's more of a setback or if they're delaying their window for contention by 2 to 3 years. Like, I don't know what their plan is by taking this big of a step back is what they're taking. If I'm Anaheim, I'm probably matching the offer. Like, I don't think you spend as long as they have, like, rebuilding, drafting a franchise center second overall, and then watching him, become as good as he has been, and then letting him walk on an expensive contract. I don't think he's necessarily worth the $18 million. Like, I don't think that he's the kind of player that demands that amount of money, nor do I think he'll live up to an $18 million price tag. But at the same time, like you said, the 4 first, realistically from Philly, are going to be what, late mid-20s? Like, they're not going to be high picks.
They would be late picks, assuming Leo goes there with the guys that they already have. I mean, they still have to sign Zegras.
Yep.
They still have to sign Drysdale. But, I mean, like, what a mess.
Yeah, I don't know. And, like, you could take the 4 first. You definitely could. And the chances of them drafting another Leo Carlsson is next to none. Like, I don't think that'll
with
happen.
those picks,
right?
Absolutely
exactly.
not. But I mean, if Anaheim's that bad, then maybe they'll be able to draft another one
right.
with their own pick. But
no, you're right. So I mean, that's the question though, right? Do you take the 4? Do you take the 4 first from Philly, and then do you offer Sheet Bedard a ridiculous amount of money because he's looking in the range of 17? Offer him 20. Make the Blackhawks, make a decision. Because from what I'm hearing, Chicago's nowhere near that $17 million price tag that Bedard's asking. From what I saw earlier today, apparently in discussions with Bedard, they are not close to a $17 million deal. So I mean, hey, give up your 4 picks, your 4 first rounders, offer Bedard an insane amount of money, and then take Philly's first rounders in exchange. I mean, that's an option. I don't know that's the play. I
don't want to get off of the Ducks just yet, but we are going to talk about Bedard and Chicago as a whole, because that team is also just a mess. And I think I said it on the draft show, but like I said earlier this week, I felt like the Ducks were a piece away from contending. But at this point, even signing Leo Carlsson to this ridiculous contract, which good. I mean, like he had 67 points in 70 games. So he's basically a point-a-game player. I do believe he's going to continue to get better, but you don't have a lot of pieces around him, at least young pieces. Like, you have Cutter Gauthier, and just kind of it, because you lost Zegras.
Yeah,
really,
he's the only younger top talent.
Yeah, and so I mean, you have guys that are coming up. Like, you have guys that aren't playing in the NHL yet, who are under contract, who might be good players. We'll have to wait and see. But you're probably like 3 to 4 years away now, unless you can make a trade for a defenseman, which I don't know. If Anaheim was waiting on a trade partner, like, I still don't understand why you trade Zellweger away.
No.
Like, what was the point? And like, unless he was like a locker room cancer, but at that point, okay, you can't tell me that you're going to lose Radko, John Carlson, and Trouba, and you willingly gave away Zellweger.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like, you traded Carlson for a late round pick. You traded Radko's rights for Greer's, who you signed. I don't even think you traded Trouba. I think Trouba just signed with another team.
Trouba just walked. Yeah.
And then I think you got a first for Zellweger, but didn't they have to move down to do it?
They did, yeah.
I
don't love it. And the thing is too, is like with like Gudis, for example, like, I don't necessarily think he's like the most talented guy in the world, but like, that's a big identity piece that you're losing. You know what I mean? Like, just
he was your captain.
Well, that's just it. Like,
he was the captain.
He is a big piece of the identity of the Ducks, and he's a tough ass guy. He's a guy that he has no problem fighting, has no problem hitting. He's a tough player. It's a guy that you're losing on the back end who really helps in the strength department. And yeah, you let him go. I don't know. I don't see where they're heading. Like, I don't understand the thought process. I don't know if Pat Verbeek is just deciding, hey, I want to be a little more flexible here, and he's losing out on all the momentum that they could have had. I don't know if for some reason he thinks that they need to spend a couple more years doing. I mean, they're going to have to spend a couple more years now rebuilding again.
Oh, yeah.
Are Ducks fans going to sit around and wait to see if the rebuild is working after they just got rid of all these fucking players? Like, I don't know.
I feel bad for the Ducks. Like, you had a season a couple of years ago where it looked like everything was turning around, and then you guys had what's his name? You guys had Zegras leave.
Yep.
And that kind of set things back a little bit too. Actually, I am wrong. Okay, hold on. The last time you guys made the playoffs before this was 2017, 2018. That's almost 10 years of no playoffs, okay? You guys have been out of the playoffs for as long as the Leafs were in it. And your best season over that time, you guys had 2 years where you went 35 and 37 and 10. That's actually crazy. But like you guys sucked. Like really, like it's you guys definitely sucked. And now your fans, after watching this team come third in the Pacific, beat their first round opponents. They took the Oilers,
which I don't think
money.
anybody was necessarily expecting. That's a big upset. Like them beating the Oilers in the first round was
43, 33, and 6. You guys were 24, 13, and 4 at home, 19, 20, and 2 away. And you guys just gave away 4 of your biggest identity pieces on the back end. And now you're left with the pieces.
Yeah.
And you didn't sign anybody. Like there are still, don't get me wrong, forward wise, there are still some players left that you can go after, but there's really no one on the back end that you're gonna grab that's gonna be as good as any of the guys that you lost.
No, not at all.
And they're all old. So it's like I don't know. Like you pushed yourself back so far, but anyways, if we have any Ducks fans, feel free to chime off in the comments and let us know what you guys think. But let's go to Chicago because I want to talk about Chicago for a little bit. So Chicago trades the 4th overall pick for Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway. And then they extend Bowen Byram to a $12.5 million contract, which makes him the highest paid defenseman actively in the NHL. Insane. Bowen Byram could be this good. He could be. But he's been the second defenseman on every team he's played for. So maybe he, is the first guy. There's a lot of pressure there. I mean, who knows if he's going to be good to do that? Every other time he hasn't been asked to be the number one. Well, you're stepping into a team that's been atrocious. Chicago, I think, has been like probably the worst team in the NHL by far for a few years. Like, it's what a mess. Like, I'm going to bring Chicago's thing up real quick. The same way that I just brought the Ducks up. So with, Connor Bedard is now he just played the final year of his ELC. You guys were 31st all 3 years. All 3. You had the salary to get this guy partner. You probably had the trade pieces to do it. And what did you do? Nothing. The best player he's ever played with, I mean, you could argue that it's Frank Nazar. You could argue that it's Tyler Bertuzzi. You could argue that it's Teuvo Teravainen. But those guys aren't moving the needle. Like, those guys aren't superstars. They're complementary pieces to maybe a superstar line, but you need to have someone else playing on the first line with Bedard. And now Bedard's ELC is done. He just watched Leo Carlsson get $18 million. Bedard's going, I'm better than Leo Carlsson, and it's not even really a conversation. No. Even though I poop on Bedard all the time, I still think he's probably better than Leo. But at the same time, if I'm Connor Bedard right now, what's stopping me from marching into the GM's office and Kyle Davidson's office and going, I want $20 million.
Yeah.
Make me the highest paid player in the NHL or I'm not signing. Like, I heard a rumor the other day, and I think this is just Leaf fan bullshit. Someone's like, why don't call up Chicago and be like Matthew Nyes for Connor Bedard straight up, and I'm like, they're not taking that. Like they're like Chicago, like one Leafs have no money to be able to give Bedard a 17 unless he's gonna come to Toronto and go, hold on,
I'll take a team friendly deal, right?
I get to play with McKenna and Matthews and Nylander. Fuck it, yeah, cool, sweet. Poor Matthew Nyes, man. Like, we'll get into the Leafs, but just like what a mess on Chicago. I mean, you got to sign Bedard. Like, you can't lose Bedard.
No.
You still have to sign Kevin Korchinski. You have $30 million to sign those 2 players. Korchinski's probably going to demand 8 or 9, I would guess. He might want more than that. I don't know what he did this year. Only 26 points in 53 games. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a big enough sample size there for you to be like, I'll give you whatever. So I don't know. But Bedard, you can't lose. But if you lose Bedard, like you're kicking off another rebuild. I mean, Chicago Blackhawks fans don't deserve this. The last time you made the playoffs was 2019, 2020, and you were 32, 30-8. You only made the playoffs because I think that was the bubble year. That was the start of the bubble. So, and you lost in round one. And then you were 21st, 27th, 30th, 31st, 31st, 31st. You have Connor Bedard. And like I said, for as much shit as I give this guy, he just came off a season where he had 75 points in 69 games. Nice. 30 goals, 45 assists. Like, this is a superstar. He is the face of your franchise. Kyle Davidson, you are fucking this up so hard, man. Like, you're fucking this up. You can't have a superstar talent like this and be that bad at drafting assets to assist him or signing players. Like, I keep hearing a rumor that Patrick Kane's going to go back to Chicago, but at this point, I love Patrick Kane, don't get me wrong. If in the right situation, Patrick Kane could still be a 60-point player. But he's not fast enough to keep up with Bedard, for one. Like, I don't know. And plus, I've heard that Kane wants like 4 or 5 mil. So it's like, if you try to sign Korchinski and then Bedard's like, I want 20. Like, the other thing is, like, you know, for Chicago, I can understand why they don't want to sign Bedard to 17 million, but at the same time, what have you done with the cap space that he's given you? Like, he's alleviated on his ELC. You could have signed a guy for $20 million, but you didn't. You did nothing. Like, you have Seth Jones retained right now at $2.5 million for the next 4 years. You bought out TJ Brody's contract, but that's only $250,000. So it's like, you know, you have the space to make signings. You've had the space to make signings, but you've used that money to sign, you know, Tyler Bertuzzi to $5 million, Timu to $5 million, Ryan Donato to $4 million. You took Jordan Greenway's contract, which is $4 million. Andrew Mangiapane at $3.6 million. Like, you know, you haven't really done very well with the money that you've had access to. So if I'm Bedard, like, I'm looking at this team and going, like, what is the upside here? Like, is Antoine Frondel, Frank Nazar, and Ryan Donato, who all play center along with me, Connor Bedard, like, what are we doing? Like, why have you never gotten me a talented winger that can skate with me? Like, I don't know. I mean, if you're Connor Bedard, in your best interest, now fans can chime off in the comments and tell me that I'm off base here, but in his best interest, it might be trade me. Trade me to a team that actually can compete. Because this team, looking at it on paper, they might still be 3 years away. I don't think they're 3 years away from being not 31st anymore. I think that this team could be 25th next year. Could be like in the high 20s or like low 20s, but I don't know. Like, Bedard's now hurt. He got hurt in training camp. He hurt his shoulder again. So, I mean, Bedard's not been able to stay healthy. Like, that's kind of always been my gripe with him, is he hasn't really been able to play a full season, which, you know, I guess he did last year, or in 2024, 2025. He did play 82. But the year before that, 68. This year, 69. I mean, he had 30 goals. Like, you can see that this kid's going to be great. But he's got to stay healthy, and he needs help.
Glass bones, unfortunately.
Like, he needs help. All right, let's go. Let's talk about Columbus first. We'll talk about the trades, the nut stuff that's happened so far in the last couple weeks. So we'll start with Zach Werenski. Now, I don't know what Don Waddell is doing. I don't know what Zach Werenski is doing. Okay? There was a rumor last week on the first day of free agency and before that at the draft, I think we even talked about it in the draft episode, that Zach Werenski basically said, I'm not going to sign an extension in 2 years, so let's look at a way to trade me. And even up till the first day of free agency, the rumor was his top two was Toronto and Tampa. Now, Don Waddell got a trade offer from Dallas that was surrounded by Thomas Hartley and brought it to Zach. And apparently, after a couple hours of speaking to his family, he decided to turn down that trade offer and is going to remain a Columbus Blue Jacket for the foreseeable future. I put that in air quotes because I don't believe it. I think he's going to play. He's not getting moved this offseason. He's going to play games next year wearing the Columbus Blue Jacket sweater. But I don't know for how long. Like, I understand why Don Waddell doesn't want to trade this guy. I'm assuming that when it came to Toronto and Tampa, he just didn't like the offers that we had. I mean, the Leafs offer was Matthew Nyes, Ben Danford, and the Colorado first that we have. So I can kind of understand that. I have no idea what Tampa's offer was. I can't imagine it was much better than that. A Hartley deal does make sense. I can see that. But what pisses me off about this is it's like, Werenski, like, what are you doing? Like, I understand that the messages that they both put out is just damage control, but it's also bullshit. Like, I don't believe that. I mean, one, Don Waddell spelled Werenski's name wrong on his message, which, I mean, is probably not Don Waddell's fault. It's probably like their PR guy's fault for not being able to spell. But at the same time, it's like, that's not a good look. And I mean, if you're teammates of Zach Werenski right now, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? You know that he wants out, and he fucked this whole situation up. You know, like you could have been the captain. I don't think you can give him the C. No, I don't even think if he should stay as the A. Like, Boone Jenner leaves, Zach Werenski's in line to become the captain, and he goes, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this and like trade me. I'm just not gonna sign. It's like, okay. And then also to them saying that, oh yeah, it all got blown out of proportion because of the media. Shut up. Shut up. It's not the media's fault. Like, yeah, what do you think the media was going to do, Zach? You just won the Norris. Do you think that a trade rumor surrounding you is not going to blow up? Oh my God. Yeah, everyone wants you. Everyone wants you. I'm a Leaf fan. I would have loved to see you in the blue and white. I still think you might end up in the blue and white someday. But I mean, I don't know. Like, what a mess. What a mess. And, you know, well, just really quick before I let you talk about it. Adam Fantilli's on this team as well. He's an RFA. Apparently, he was waiting to see what Leo Carlsson would sign for and Bedard. So, seeing that he made 18, I have to imagine Fantilli's going, I want 17 or I want 18.
It's gotta be close.
They only have $21 million in space, so he might take the rest of it. And, I mean, Kirill Marchenko also has put in a trade request. He wants out. So, like, Don Waddell is not in an envious situation here. Like, he's got some work to do, and I mean, you basically know, unless you make the playoffs this year and go on a deep run, and looking at this roster, I can't see it. Zach Werenski is going to ask to be traded at the deadline. Next year, though, he does have a modified no team clause. Modified no trade clause. Why can't I speak? Anyways, it goes up to 10 teams. So Don has more leverage in that situation other than basically everyone knowing that he only wants to go to Toronto or Tampa. So I don't know. There still could be something here. I mean, what do you got on this, Connor?
No, I mean, I pretty much agree. The fact that Zach Werenski was even involved in trade rumors to begin with, it kind of tells you where Columbus is at currently. Like, I don't know why you even toy with the idea of trading a Norris Trophy winner. I mean, once you kind of start to hear his name, you're thinking like, okay, well, does the team's timeline really match with the player's timeline? Like, what is he kind of thinking? If you're Columbus, I just don't think that defensemen of his caliber grow on trees. Like, finding good defensemen is very hard to do right now in the current state of the NHL. Defensemen also historically take a much longer time to develop. So trying to find a younger guy and hoping that he develops to a point where, like, Werenski's at right now, for example, is a tall task. So, I mean, unless you're getting a franchise-changing type of player, like, I guess realistically you need to keep him and you need to build around him. The problem is, I also don't buy the whole, this was skewed in the media, it was a rumor, it got out of hand. Like, I don't, like, clearly at some point he wanted out. I don't believe the statement that he never wanted to be traded. I just
BS.
Yeah, like, he wanted to get out at some point in time. It had to have been a conversation. I guess on the flip side, like, if you're looking at it from the other perspective, Werenski's 28. I would say that he's probably right at the height of his prime. He's just about as good as he's going to get. if he wants to go compete somewhere for a Stanley Cup, if the Blue Jackets aren't close, I think it's fair for him to request a trade. Absolutely.
I mean,
It's just
every other American player has done that this summer.
Well,
He's
right.
not the only guy.
No, and that's just it. He's not in the minority when it comes to that at all. No, I completely agree. In all honesty, I don't know how to really feel about clearing the air publicly like they did, I guess. I mean, supposedly Werenski's committed to staying.
Control.
Let's just say,
it's pure damage control, and I think it's for the fans, but it's also for his teammates. But his teammates aren't stupid.
No, not at all. Now, one thing I will say, where he requested a trade, they couldn't find a trade package, didn't want to give him up, whatever, and now they're doing damage control. I think that the pressure honestly shifts to management hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're either going to prove that their best player, is there for a reason and that the team is actually committed to moving towards contention, or they're going to drop the ball. They're going to be absolutely terrible for the next 1 to 2 years. And again, he's going to want out. He's not going to want to stick around.
I still think he's got to be on the move.
Yeah.
And I mean, Norris defensemen, like you said, they don't grow on trees. They don't want to be traded every day.
No.
But this is the best player you've had in in the franchise's history. There's no one even close. Some people be like, oh, Rick Nash. But no. This guy, Rick Nash, didn't win an award. This guy is a Norris winner, okay? And after he wins the Norris, he goes, you know what? I don't think I'm going to sign here. And I don't blame him. This team has been horrible. Hold on. Let me look up let me look up them like I looked up the Ducks in Chicago. Let's see. Okay, so since 2020, 28th, 21st, 31st, 29th, 20th, and 17th. They almost made the playoffs this year, but they haven't made the playoffs since 2019, 2020, where they lost in round 1. And you're not really close. 18, 26 and 2, 37, 38 and 7, 25, 48 and 9, 27, 43 and 12, 43, 33 and 9. That year you were close. Last year, same thing, 40, 30 and 12. You're close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You got to win hockey games, and I'm not sure this team is good enough to do it, but all right,
if it's me, one last point I'll make on that. If it's me, I'm keeping him on the team for the next 2 years until his contract runs out. If he wants to go sign elsewhere, let him. But realistically, finding a defenseman like Werenski and a franchise defenseman, I think that's harder than finding a franchise centerman or a franchise forward player. I realistically think you have to keep him. I think that you have to put up as much of a fight as you can to not let him walk.
I think I'd trade him next year when the trade list moves to 10 teams. But the problem with that is I don't think your trade value is going to get any better.
It's not. I think he's at his
only
height
to
right
get
now.
worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only reason I say that isn't because I think he could have another Norris season next year. The problem is right now, if you trade him, he's not a high class rental.
No,
he's a player that you can use for 2 years. Now, if you trade him next offseason, if you trade him July 1 next year, he moves from being a good player who you're going to have for 2 full seasons to a high-class rental. No one's going to want to give up a Matthew Nyes and a Ben Danford and a first-round pick for a high-value rental unless he's committed to signing with the team, which I don't think he would be. So, I don't know. Anyways, let's go to Dallas real quick. We're not gonna jump on this forever, but if I'm Thomas Hartley right now, I can't imagine what he's thinking. My extension just kicked. I'm now making 10.58, and you guys just threatened to trade me to Columbus. He probably is I understand it's Zach Werenski, but I can't imagine that feels good knowing that your name was out there. But speaking of guys whose name is out there, Jason Robertson. Jason Robertson. Okay. You are a marvel of a player. You're a fantastic NHL player. You had 96 points in 82 games this year, 45 goals. You are tuned for a pay raise. I mean, you were making 7.75. Okay. You doesn't seem like you're going to sign with the Stars. I don't know at this point where you're going to go, but you go, okay, you know what? Maybe they're going to trade me. Okay. Well, Seattle Kraken offered you $15 million. And you said no. Brother, how much money do you want? Like, how much money do you want? Because if you don't want $15 million, if you want to stay with the Stars for less, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't sign yet. I mean, they only have $9.7 million, so I can understand you not wanting to sign for that, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, brother, like, make a decision. Like, holy shit. Like, if you want to be traded, you're gonna be traded. If you want them to offer someone to offer sheet you, I mean, I guess that could happen, but you have to agree to a contract. Not a lot of teams have enough money to go, here's $15 million. I can understand you not wanting to play for the Kraken, but at the same time, it's like, brother, make a decision. Like, you got to go somewhere. You can't just stay. So I don't know. Like, what a weird deal that is. You got a read on that one, Connor?
Nothing more than what you said, really. Like, I agree. It's just like, how much money do you possibly want? Like,
do you want $20 million? Do you want to be the first guy to
nutty.
make that
Yeah,
ridiculous amount? So, all right, Detroit, another team that really didn't do anything day one of free agency. I just shout it to the guy on the video on the TikTok that we did about who's the next face of the franchise. The Emmett Finney comment actually made me laugh out loud. Like, I was yesterday. I was checking the comments on it. I just go Emmett Finney. I'm like, that is so funny.
It's so good.
Oh my god. Yeah. Emmett Finney, ladies and gentlemen, the next face of the league. So yeah, I the only reason I want to talk about them real quick, not because they made any moves. I've heard Alex DeBrincat's name and trade rumors now. He's got a modified no trade clause, 16 team list. Dylan Larkin. Steve Yzerman basically told him, if you don't open up your trade list, I'm not trading you. And even opening it, I don't even know if he's going to trade this guy. I think we've seen Dylan Larkin's last game, but at this point, I don't know if he's going to get traded. He might just sit him. He might just go, I'm just not going to play you. Fuck you. Like, you still have 5 years left. Like, what a bad way to work. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I heard a rumor that Dylan Larkin could go to Columbus for like Grill and like a couple other things, but like, does Dylan Larkin want to go to Columbus? Like, not a lot of players want to go there. The Leafs need a 2C, but I don't think we have the assets to get Larkin, and I don't think they want to trade him in division. I asked Ryan if he'd like Dylan Larkin in Montreal, and his response to me has still been the same. It's like, oh, I only want players that want to play in Montreal. I don't want players that just want to come here for the money. We have a culture. They got to want to win. It's like, Ryan, I'm pretty sure this guy's dedicated to winning, and that's why he wants to get out of Detroit. But, you know, he's like, no, you got a bad attitude. And it's like, Ryan, shut the fuck up, man. Guys who have bad attitudes, hungover playing GTA. Yeah, okay, sure. But, you know, Detroit had this $18.6 million in cap space right now, and they really did nothing. And what confuses me about this team, just before I move on, is, you know, they tried. They actively added at the deadline this year, and the team still couldn't get it done. And it's like, man, like, what else does this team need? You can't just keep waiting. Like, and I can understand why Larkin wants out. But at that point, he should have seen the writing on the wall and not signed a fucking 8-year contract with this team. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I understand you're making 8.7, but, like, you know, you had 67 points in 74 games. I guess 8.7 is the new fucking 6. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel bad for Red Wings fans. I really do. Because every year you guys have so much hope. You think you're finally going to do it. And then you just don't. And it's like, man, like, it's got to be so just disheartening. Like,
well, that's the worst part is, like, I think they're an incredibly solid team on paper. Like, you look at the roster and, like, they have a handful of guys that are, like, you know, really good players. They can, like you said, continue to add at the deadline, continue to bring guys in. They sign decent contracts, and they just can't get over the hump.
You haven't made the playoffs since 2015, 2016. Since then, you were 25th, 27th, 28th, 31st, 27th, 25th, 24th, 18th. So you were close this year. I mean, you went 41, 32, and 9. You were +2 on goal difference, which isn't great. You guys, you need to do something better than that. Like, you can't be that close and somehow just give it up. Like, it's just unfortunate, but I mean, that's just Detroit, I guess. So at this point, I feel like we're kind of going team by team, or at least the interesting teams. Edmonton Oilers. You guys did some stuff. you somehow got rid of Darnell Nurse in a trade where you didn't have to retain or give
That's
anything up.
incredible. Yeah.
You actually got Shakir Muhammadulin and you extended him to 1.75 for 2 years. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Your goaltending situation is wild to me. Just absolutely wild. You signed Frederik Andersen to a $1 million contract,
$1 million deal, yeah.
which is insane. You trade for Devin Levi, which is also insane. You still have Tristan Jarry. This team has $6.4 million in open space right now. I mean, there's not a lot of players left for you to grab in free agency. Like there are some forwards, like there's Anthony Mantha, there's still Patrick Kane, there's a couple guys there. Your defense core though looks pretty good. Like it looks pretty good, even without Darnell Nurse. Bouchard, Wallman, Connor Murphy, Matthias Ekholm, Shea Ryan, Shakir Muhammadulin. Goaltending wise, I feel like Tristan Jarry is gonna be the next Jack Campbell, where you bury him in the minors.
Well.
And then you run Dylan Levi and Freddie next year.
The funniest part about that is their highest paid goaltender is going to be the third string goaltender. Like Tristan Jarry is the highest paid goaltender out of the other two at basically 5.4 million, and he's going to be the goalie that doesn't get to play. Like I think Frederik Andersen probably starts. And then you've got Devin Levi, who's 24, that's going to sit behind him and soak up as much information and as much, training and tips and pointers and everything you can get out of Frederik Andersen. And realistically, with him only being 24, sky's the limit. Like, he can get better for sure. So I think he's your clear-cut second choice. It's just funny to me that, your highest paid goaltender is going to be your third-string goaltender.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like Dylan Levi, former first-round pick, I believe.
I think so.
I don't know if I can see that on Puckpedia or not.
You can. He was. No. He was drafted in 2020 in round 7. He was picked 212.
Hey, it was interesting. Okay,
I thought he was much higher than that. I did too.
I did too, just because he's got really good, high potential.
Yeah,
but anyways,
he was round 7.
He was actually so the start of his career, the way he got to Buffalo is he was part of the Sam Reinhart trade. It was him and a first-round pick in 2022 for Sam Reinhart. So he came from Florida. He was just traded for a third-round pick going to Edmonton. He did not play a single NHL game this year. Last year he played 9 games the year before, 2024-2025. He had a 4.12 and an 8.72, but that was on a really bad team. I think this guy has the potential to be the starter. He is getting older. Goalies are also really weird. But
it's true.
Frederik Andersen is not going to play 60 games. He was bad this year. Like I think everyone forgets it because in the playoffs he was outstanding, but he played 35 games this year, guys. He had a 305 and an 874. Like that is borderline unplayable hockey. Like that's horrible. And then, in the playoffs, he was great. Don't get me wrong. He played 16 games at a 1.19 and a 910. That's incredible. But his goals saved above average percentage was negative 3.31. That's horrible. That is borderline unwatchable hockey. So I don't know. Edmonton, your goaltending is most likely going to be better, but it's shaky. You have guys that are more dependable, I guess, than Tristan Jarry, but I don't know. Getting rid of Darnell Nurse is probably the best thing you guys have ever done. But
I again am surprised that they were able to get rid of him without having to retain contract of some kind, because I thought that contract was going to be I don't know. I assumed it was going to be tough to move Darnell Nurse, and they seemed to move him fairly quickly and easily.
Oh yeah, and they got two. Like it wasn't just Shakir; it was Shakir and Zach Sharp. Like they got 2 players in this deal.
Yeah.
For Darnell Nurse at 9.25 with 3 years left. So I don't know. Okay. There's not really much to talk about Florida. I mean, Florida lost players, but they got Radko, and they're still going to be a scary team, especially with Jake Markstrom. I guess I can talk about that real quick. Jake Markstrom going to Florida. I'm not totally certain he's going to be that good in Florida. I don't know. Florida's got a scary team. Like let's not joke. Brady Tkachuk with Matthew Tkachuk is terrifying. And everyone in the Atlantic Division right now should be shitting themselves.
They're
Like-
also bringing in every unlikable player in the goddamn league.
Yep. Yeah, Brad Marchand, Radko Gudas, Sam Bennett.
Yeah, both of the Tkachuk brothers. Like it's.
This team makes me wanna puke. Okay, but Jacob Markstrom played 44 games this year, had a 307 and 833. The last year he was above 900. He had a 905 2 years ago in Calgary. So, and he only played 48 games. He's only played 60 games. The last time he played 60 games was in 21-22. Before that was 2018-2019 and 2017-2018. So I don't know how dependable this guy is. And in the playoffs, I mean, he's okay, right? With Vancouver, the first time he played 14 games, had a 285 and a 919. That's pretty good. Then when he was there with Calgary, he played 12 games, had a 295 and had a 901. That's not great, but it's not bad. The Devils last year, or the year before last year, he played 5 games, had a 278 and a 911. So that's pretty good, but I don't know. He's not going to be the next Bobrovsky. Like, I know Bobrovsky's old, but and it's a cost-controlled contract at $6 million, but that's an interesting one. Long story short, fuck Florida. Yep. I hate this team with a burning passion.
Me too.
The Tkachuk brothers are assholes. I am so scared next year because this team is going to make the playoffs. I really hope the Leafs don't have to play them, but I mean, we'll get into the Leafs ads later. Maybe they can compete, but yeah. Let's go to the Kings.
The Kings.
I'll let you take this one.
Yay. Let's talk about the Kings for a second. So I definitely think that they had one of the quieter openings to the offseason so far in the league. I don't know if I necessarily expected them to go out and make a big splash of any kind. They definitely didn't make a huge splash or bring in anybody super duper crazy. They brought in a bunch of veterans on 1 to 2 year deals. I don't think it's the most attractive way to build a team in the world, but I can understand what they're doing. They're trying to add some depth and some experience to the locker room and to the roster without locking themselves into super long-term contracts, which I don't hate. I would have hated a lot of these moves a lot more if we were signing guys to 3 or 4 year deals. The fact that we signed most of them to 1 year deals and a couple of them to 2 year deals, again, I don't hate it at all. I don't think this season is so much about the guys we've signed. I'd really like to see some of the younger guys take a bigger step. So again, I'm kind of hoping Quentin Byfield, for example, can become a more consistent top line player. I'm hoping Brandt Clark on his new contract is going to become, the number 1 guy on the blue line. Again, speaking of that contract, that 5-year deal at $7.4 million, I think it's incredibly fair for both sides. I like that bridge deal a lot. I really do. I kind of expected him to get more money than that, to be honest. So if he keeps developing, if he, continues to improve, again, I think that's a really big win for the Kings, being able to lock him in at that price point. He put up 40 points last season. So it feels like, he's definitely going to be one of those key guys on the back end, for sure. The thing with LA is they're not rebuilding. I don't think we're in a rebuild. I don't think we're necessarily pushing for absolute contention right at this moment either. I don't think we're really moving one way or the other. We're not really pushing all of our chips into the middle of the table and just, here you go, let's see what we can do. They're kind of in that weird in-between spot, like I said, where we're kind of just hoping that our core gets better and we're bringing in experienced guys around them to try to help where we can. Again, if some of those younger players can take a bigger step, I think they're probably more valuable than signing one big free agent. And really, we only had I think it was $10 million in cap space, I think is what we had available to us. So trying to bring in one guy, sticking it to a long-term contract, and then hoping that he's good for however long the contract is, again, I don't know. I think I prefer the method that we took as far as bringing in a bunch of experienced guys. The only concern that I really have, and I mean, it's obviously going to continue to be an issue, the Pacific Division. Edmonton is still a powerhouse. They're still very good. We just talked about them. Vegas always seems to find a way to be competitive. I don't think it matters who is on Vegas's roster. They just always seem to find a way to be good. And, you've got other teams that are constantly getting better as well. So, even if the Kings do improve, I don't know if it's enough to actually move us up in the standings a ton. I think we'll probably be pretty similar to what we were last season. I mean, hey, if we can somehow split 20 overtime losses um,
Yeah.
maybe we have a better result. I don't know. I just feel like it's, an important year for the Kings in general this year. I think
Mhm.
we'll find out whether the group has another gear, if they can kick it up a notch and kind of have another level to them, or if they're
Yep.
kind of just going to be good enough, whether we
Mhm.
make the playoffs, if we're not quite good enough to do it. I still don't think we're good enough to make a deep run. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the biggest thing is we've still got right around $2 million in cap space. We brought in, again, Corey Perry on a 1-year, $1 million deal. Joel Amari is on a 1-year deal.
Mhm.
Eric Holla, we brought in for a 2-year deal. Matt Zuccarello is only on a 1-year deal. So again, I love those players.
Scott Lawton returns for
Right.
3 years.
And we brought
I
him.
love Scott Lawton.
And I like that
I'm
contract too. Like, that contract is 3 by
He could-
3.5. I don't hate it.
open market. He gets 5.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
that the he was the best center UFA that was still available. He was getting 5.
Yeah.
I am upset that you guys extended him. To me, the question surrounding this team is the Kempe contract. That is a massive contract.
Yeah.
I know that this was signed in November, but looking at it now and looking at the way that your contract breakdown,
It's
like Kempe
rough.
didn't have a bad year. I mean, 73 points in 81 games is pretty good. And I mean,
It's
10,
serviceable.
10 is the new 8. So like it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I think you guys are good enough to make the playoffs, but every year, I mean, like looking
It's not
at your
much
guys'
past that.
recent history, first round, didn't make the playoffs, first round, didn't make the playoffs, won the Stanley Cup final. Like,
Yeah.
you guys, ever since you won the Stanley Cup, you missed the playoffs. Round one, miss. Round one, miss. Round one, like the last 5 years in a row.
It's all round ones,
Like,
yeah.
don't know.
The thing I will say, Drew Doughty's contract is up at the end of this year. He's got 1 year.
You guys said that you're not bringing him back.
Right. So that frees up $11 million in cap space on his deal.
It's true.
Darcy Kemper only has 1 year left at $5 million. It's like $5.25 million or whatever. So again, total that's like $16 million in cap space. Artemi Panarin's got a couple years left. I realistically would like to see him stick around. I just don't know what that contract looks like after these 2 years. The Kempe contract, like you said, is probably the only contract that I really don't like all that much.
Yeah.
But either way, Drew Doughty at $11 million and Darcy Kemper at like $5 million. That's $16 million in contract or cap space plus the $2 million that we have currently. Like, you're creeping up on $20 million available in cap space for next season. That's when I think we need to make moves. Like, that is where I would love to see them spend some money, bring in some notable players, and kind of see what happens. I think that this year is, again, more of just a see what happens kind of year. Hope that some guys develop. Take it from there. Next season, realistically, with all the cap space and the expiring contracts, is where they need to make a move. As far as I'm concerned,
we'll go to Montreal here. I'm going to try to fly through a couple teams here quickly. Montreal didn't do much. They did extend Ivan Demidov to $9.15 million.
Great contract.
Great contract. Man, a lot of people online, and maybe it's just some fans trying to stir up controversy. This is not my opinion, okay? So Habs fans, Ryan, Matt, don't come after me here. I'm just repeating what I saw. Some people are calling for Demidov to get traded for another just big body center forward for some reason. They say there's too much skill on this team and not enough like grinding attack. I disagree with this. I think that this contract is fantastic. I think Demidov is going to be one of the best players, one of the best players in the NHL. Not the best, but he's one of them. They also signed Dobish to an extension, 5.3 for 3 years. I mean, kind of deserved. I mean, this guy played incredible down the stretch for you guys. This contract doesn't kick until next year, so he's still on.
He's still on $965K. Yeah.
So before that contract kicks, Montembeault's contract will be off the books.
Yeah.
And then you can extend Fowler next season as well.
Yeah.
So there's also that. Montreal is still going to be good next year. You guys have $14 million in cap space. You are looking for a second line center from everything that I've heard. But that's kind of all I have for Montreal. Nashville, just quickly, they traded for Marvel Bork and extended him yesterday, $5.5 million per, which seems like, no offense to Bork, but that seems like a lot of money. I'm not familiar with this guy's game. 41 points in 82 games. I guess 5's the new 3, I guess, because when we get to the Leafs, they made some interesting things with their money. New Jersey extended Nico Hischier, $11.7 million per season. Pretty interesting contract. Full no move clause for the first 3. He's got a modified no trade clause after that. What's the condition? 14 teams, 18 the first year, and then it drops to 14 the second year. Interesting. New Jersey's kind of a mess. I don't know what this team's going to be next year, but that contract, especially for Nico, I think that's kind of right in the ballpark. That might not honestly be a little bit on the lower end. Islanders didn't really do anything. The Rangers didn't really do anything. Like, what a mess of a team there. Ottawa traded for Arison from the Leafs for a late round pick. We weren't going to use him, so good for you. Philadelphia. We already kind of talked about them.
Philadelphia has been rage baiting the Anaheim Ducks for the last week.
Yeah, they have 3 Ducks. 2 of them are going to arbitration. One of them signed an offer sheet.
It's so funny.
Insane.
I like the beef between the Ducks and the Flyers off the ice has been incredible.
Pittsburgh, really quick. They have $24 million in cap space. They traded for Nick Robertson. I would not be surprised, and I think I said this during the draft, if Pittsburgh makes a push for Jason Robertson. Like, this team's got the cap to do it. I mean, they could offer sheet him. They have the picks to do it. But they also could just outright trade for him. I mean, looking at their draft picks, they have 2 firsts this year, 2 firsts next year, and 3 firsts next year, 2 firsts the year after. They have New York's first this year, which is probably going to be pretty good. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's second round picks. I'm blind. Never mind. Sorry, they have 1 first for the next 3. So you give up all your first, but I mean, you get Jason Robertson. He's gonna play on the first line with Sidney Crosby, and then you've got players on this team who are probably gonna be pretty good this year. So they still haven't extended Robertson yet. I'm almost wondering if he's waiting to see if they're gonna trade for his brother or not. So yeah, just interesting there. Pittsburgh should be good this year. All right, so the Sharks. This team's
fucking gross. I hate this team.
Outside of the Leafs, probably had the best offseason so far. So you needed some warm bodies on the back end. So what'd you do? Darnell Nurse, Jacob Trouba, and Michael Kesselring. What the fuck?
This team's disgusting.
Incredible. Okay, so on the back end now you're solidified. You still have Yaro Askarov, who's on a crazy contract. Alex Angelikovic and Eric Comrie all signed. You also still have that prospect goalie, Ravensburg, I think is his name, off the top of my head. Mason Marchment signed to you guys. He's now the highest paid forward you have, which is insane, by the way.
Think about. Yeah, the contracts in this team's insane.
Celebrini, I believe, eligible for an extension. Same with Will Smith.
Yep.
You guys traded Will Eklund for the 9th overall pick and turned that into, I think you guys got Keaton Verhoff, which was insane that night. You also have Stenberg, who's going to play. This team makes the playoffs next year. I'm putting my off-the-boards take that the San Jose Sharks are going to make the dance next year. They're going to go from being an atrocious team to going up. I don't even know, where did they finish this year? Because I think they moved up in the lottery, didn't they? Yeah, they were 24th and moved up. So,
yeah, I mean, it's it's just wild, man. They draft Stenberg 2nd overall.
Mm-hmm.
They draft Verhoff 9th overall, right? And then, again, just looking at this team, it's
already without adding those guys, it's incredible.
Well, it's insane. Again, you look at this team, Ivar Stenberg, Michael Misa, Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, Igor Chernyshov. Every single one of those guys, combined, are making $5 million right now because they're all on low deals, rookie contracts.
And then on the back end now, you have Nurse, Trouba, Kesselring, Verhoff. You have Sam Dickinson.
Yep.
Incredible. So I think you guys make the playoffs.
It's insane.
Okay,
this roster, give them 2 years for all these guys to slowly develop or whatever and get their footing. This team is going to be gross. This team's going to be a problem for the next decade. If they can sign these guys and keep them.
Yep. So Seattle, not much to say here, just quickly. Rumor is that they have agreed to part ways or at least attempt to trade Shane Wright, who I can't see on their. Did they trade? Oh no, there he is. Last year of his ELC, a lot of teams could use a second line center. Cough, cough. Leafs. I'd love to see Shane Wright in a Leafs uniform. Matt actually asked Ryan yesterday what he thinks about Shane Wright going to Montreal, and Ryan said he doesn't have the right mentality to do it. He would bring negative aura to the team, and I'm like, Ryan, like you're such a. You think your team is so pure, man? Like,
Yeah,
shut the
Ryan
hell up.
talks like he's a monk from the fucking Himalayan
Yeah.
mountains or some shit. I don't know, man.
I feel bad for the Kraken. You have $18 million.
Yeah, it's
You tried to get Jason Robertson to come to your team. He said no. You know, first year in the league, you guys didn't make the playoffs. Second year, you had a second round loss, and then the last 3 years didn't make the playoffs. 25th, 27th, 27th. You guys got, I think you guys got Chase Reed in the draft, which is pretty good. But other than that, you guys still need help. And I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't know what you get for Shane Wright. I don't think he's got that much trade value. I looked at his
probably
points.
not a ton. Like
27 points in 74 games is pretty brutal.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him in Toronto, but I don't know. That's really all I have for Seattle. St. Louis, they kind of just dismantled a little bit. I think we'll talk about them more when we get to Washington. Tampa, the only thing that they did was sign John Carlson in the middle of the night, which is hilarious.
Yep.
It's like, oh, everyone's asleep. John Carlson, boom. So now let's get to the big hitter. Let's get to my team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. My good golly, Jesus Christ. What an offseason for this guy. The freaking Chayka over there is gone. Nuclear, okay? Leafs had, I think, $20-some million in cap space. We now have negative
you're
2.
negative
which, I mean,
like almost $3 million.
yeah. Well, you can go 10% over, and Max Domi is not going to play next year. So, what a just my God. Okay, so first, Emil Andre has signed a contract with the Leafs. It is 2 years, $1.5 million per. Gavin McKenna signed his contract yesterday. But let's get into the more interesting signings. Okay, so Jack Roslovic. We now have a guy who can play top 6 minutes. I said they needed another top 6 for, and lo and behold, they got it. Jack Roslovic, perennial 20-goal guy who's probably going to play first line winger next year. It's great. This is fantastic. I love that signing. Okay, Colton Sissons. That is a hefty price to pay for Colton Sissons, but I guess this is a guy who will defend your guys, and he can play penalty kill. So I'm happy there. We're fixing the penalty kill. Trading for Nick Paul. Now, goaltending. No Hildeby. No Wall. All right, here we go. I like Nick Paul. Don't get me wrong. He had a bad year last year. What scares me is Tampa was willing to part ways with Nick Paul and Radish to a team in the division, which kind of scares me just a little bit. But guy who's going to play third line center, can play on the penalty kill. Great. Signing Brandon DeHame, another guy who can play on the penalty kill, and another guy who's going to play in the bottom 6. Fantastic. We're fixing the bottom 6. All right. Teddy Bluger, another guy who can play penalty kill, and another guy who can eat up defensive zone minutes. We have guys who will play defensive zone center now. We're not going to use Austin Matthews to play defensive center anymore. It's fantastic. Okay. Then we signed Zach McEwen, another guy, looking great. Kelly Yarncroke came off the book. We don't got to worry about him anymore. Defensively, Darren Radish on that $8.5 million contract. There's still rumors that we're going to trade Morgan Riley. At this point, I more believe that Morgan's probably going to be back this year. I
think he'll be back this year, and then you'll probably look to move him next year. Is kind of my guess.
Troy Stetcher signed an extension. I love Troy Stetcher. He played good for us. I mean, the 1.35 is also a good contract, especially in the contract scenario today. Leafs, if you look at their breakdown, 62% of it's going to their forwards, 30% of it's going to their defensemen, And, we have Gavin McKenna, so we're going to be pretty good next year. But hey, we traded Dennis Hildeby. Oh, what did the Leafs do? Only signed Sergei Bobrovsky to a 3-year contract, $7 million per. Sergei is a workhorse. I don't care if he's going to be 38 by the time the season starts. This guy is going to play heavy games for the Leafs. Did he have a bad year last year? Yeah, but show me any goaltender that would have played on the Florida team last year that wouldn't have had a bad year. Like, they were horrible. The year before that, 54 games, 2.44, 906. Year before that, 237, 915. And the thing about this guy is he is a playoff gamer. The Leafs have gone up against Florida 3 times, and we've gotten goalied in every series we've played against them. With Florida, in the last 3 years they made the playoffs, 19 games, a 2.78, 915, 24 games, a 232, a 906, and 23 games, a 2.2, and a 914. If the Leafs can drag this team to the playoffs, which I believe that they will, this guy is going to eat minutes. And we still have Stolarz, and apparently Anthony Stolarz is a big reason why Bobrovsky came here. They were a duo in Florida, I believe, the first cup that they won. So it'll be interesting. The Leafs have nobody buyout right now. They're burying no one. They have no one retained. Max Domi's probably going to be LTIR this year. I don't think he's going to play, but go ahead, Connor.
No, I was going to say really quick about Bobrovsky. The thing you have to remember about Bobrovsky, this guy has been in the 800s twice in his career. He's been above 900 every year in his career other than twice. The last time he was in the 800s was in 2012, and it was in 899.
And the last time the Leafs had a 38-year-old goaltender, it was Ed Belfour, and he was third in Vezina voting that year.
There you go. I think that this is a perfectly good signing for the Maple Leafs. I don't hate this at all. The $7 million price tag is maybe a little high for his age, but even then, the cap is going up. I don't think it's a bad contract, and I think that this guy still has a ton of juice in the tank. 2 years ago, he was a 237, 915. He was a 267, 913. He just, I don't see this being a bad pickup for them at all.
And
yeah,
I don't think the Chayka Nader's done, y'all. I think he's still got moves to make.
Chayka
I don't know if we're gonna make signings. I'd love to see Patrick Kane in a Leafs uniform. I'd love to see Shane Wright in a Leafs uniform. Does it happen? I am not sure.
Listen,
but
man.
My God,
all I'm saying is that Chayka is sitting at home snorting Adderall, and he's just like, "What can I do next?"
I was worried about this guy.
Me too. All
Leaf fans.
I didn't think it was gonna be good.
Look, John Chayka, you've been fantastic. All right, these signings might not work, but I can tell you one thing. One thing about this Leaf team. By God, they'll be fucking interesting next year.
It'll be fun to watch.
Be so interesting and fun to watch. Austin Matthews needs to get back into his goal-scoring ways. He's not going to have to play defensive zone minutes anymore. He's not going to have to play the penalty kill. I think that he has the best chance to get back to scoring. And my God, we went from a team that we looked at on paper and we were like, man, this team is bad. They need so much help. And looking at the team now, I go, well, they got the help. They got the help. Can they do it? I don't know. But this team should make the playoffs next year. I mean, if you ask, AI, which AI is kind of bullshit. They believe that Toronto could contend for the Atlantic Division next year. Be number 1. I could see it, but Florida's going to be a tough beast next year. And the Atlantic's not getting any easier. It's not getting any easier. But, all right. So I love the moves Toronto's made. I think Toronto is going to be really good. I'm very happy. Utah made one move. It was trading Sean Durzi for Vinny Trocheck. Kind of surprising move. This is still a playoff team, and adding Vinny is not going to do anything bad for you. So it'll be quite interesting to see where this team ends up going. But
they picked up Anders Lee as well.
Yeah.
So,
they got vet presence now. I don't know how far they make it into the playoffs, but they will be interesting. Vancouver did nothing.
It's unfortunate for Vancouver.
Elias Pettersson. If he can get back to point a game, that $11.6 million contract looks good. Can he get back to point a game? I'm not sure. This guy's also been in constant trade rumors. Also, really quick on the Leafs. Matthew Nyes, please don't trade this guy. Please don't. Chayka, unless we're bringing... And Chayka said yesterday he is hunting for another superstar, okay? Crazy. I don't know who he's going after. But Chayka, unless it is a goddamn bona fide superstar, do not trade Matthew Nyes. Please, please. Okay, I love Matthew Nyes. Everyone loves Matthew Nyes. You don't get a player like Matthew Nyes every day. And none of the signings that you made are Matthew Nyes. They're all good players. They'll all play penalty kill. They'll all be good players. They're not Matthew Nyes. So please, please, please keep Matthew Nyes. Okay. Yes, Vancouver did nothing. Vegas. They're the Vegas Golden Knights. they're the Vegas Golden Knights. They're negative $8.6 million against the cap right now. Extended Rasmus Anderson to a 7-year, $8.5 million contract. I mean, he was bad. He was bad in the playoffs. Let's not joke around here. Someone's got to move. I don't know who it's going to be. I've heard Mark Stone's name in rumors, but he's your captain. But then again, it's Vegas. They'll trade anybody. So I don't know. I still think that this is a good team. Obviously, they're going to be a playoff team next year. God, I hate this team. I'm not gonna say anything about them. I'm just saying I don't like this team. Did they sign? Was Brett Howden? No, they signed. I thought they signed someone. I'm thinking of Barrett Hayton. They haven't signed Riley Smith or Brandon Saad. Probably those guys aren't gonna come back. I mean, they don't have the money to. But I think someone's got to be on the move. I'm just not sure who it is. But Vegas will be a good team again next year. Now, one of the most interesting off seasons of the summer. Washington. Washington was setting up to not even have Ovi come back this year, I think. And they would have been fine. I think they're a guaranteed playoff team, okay? They brought in Alex Tuck, signed him to 10.5. They brought in Jordan Kyrou. It's pretty good. Pretty good. They signed Boone Jenner. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Ovi comes back, takes a 1-year deal at 4.25, and you're like, Ovi doesn't need to do anything. Just score goals. I mean, pretty good.
He's all right at that. I don't. He's okay.
Yeah,
he can sort of score goals. Sort of.
He's gonna score goals.
He's all right.
This team probably, I think, makes the playoffs next year. I don't really like the assets that they had to give up for the Kyrou trade. I think that was a little bit high, but I mean, if it doesn't matter if you guys are gonna be that good. I mean, losing. I've seen some people who are like, I don't know if Jordan Kyrou is better than Connor McMichaels. I mean, point wise, I can't even say that he is. I mean, Kyrou had a pretty brutal year last year, 46 points in 72 games. I mean, across his career, he's been pretty all right. Let's look here. Year before that, 70 points in 82. He had 36 goals. 67 in 82. He had 31. So he's kind of a perennial 30-goal guy. He's just got to get back to that. I mean, St. Louis they were bad. Like they were bad this year. Losing Connor McMichaels, I mean, yeah, he's probably going to be a good player, but he's 20. He's 25. Like, he's not a young player anymore, and he only had 46 points in 72. You lost Milton Gastrin, who I don't know anything about, and you gave up your first-round pick this year. Who I believe the Blues, that was the 16th pick. That was one of the picks that they packaged to the Ducks for Mason McTavish. So I guess that's the one thing that we didn't talk about on the Blues, but I mean, there's not much other than that. They traded Kyrou and they brought in McTavish, who's another guy that the Ducks lost. And they still didn't do anything. So very, very interesting. But Washington, very interesting team. Love this. I love their forward core now. They don't have a lot of money. They only have 9.25. But let's say that they're the team that gets Kirill Marchenko. Oh my God, this team is nasty. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I've heard a little bit of a rumor. I mean, they have Boone Jenner now. They have Ovi. They got the Russian connection there. Who knows? But if they pull that off, my God, the top 6 on this team is disgusting.
It's very good.
It's disgusting. You're probably gonna play first line Ovi. What is it? Ovi, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Alex Tuck, and then second line Wilson, Boone Jenner, and Kyrou. That's disgusting. And then you have Dylan Strome playing third line center. Maybe Boone is, whoever it is. You got ways to do it here, and you still have Protas. Golly, I mean, you have the Protas brothers too. This team is gonna be so good. They're gonna be so good this year. I would another off the boards. I don't even know how off the boards it is, but I think Washington gets back to the playoffs this year. Novi's final year, which I think that we can all but confirm at this point, right?
Yeah.
Winnipeg.
They signed their goalie of the future in Stuart Skinner.
Another guy that's been caught up in trade rumors from the U.S. Olympic team, Connor Hellebuck. I don't know if he gets traded anymore. I don't know. At this point, this team is probably better off just tearing everything. You got to tear this down, I think. Like, Scheifele is 33, Kyle Connor's 29, Morrissey's 31 now. Neil Pionk is 30. Like, you're not getting any younger.
Velarde's
Hellebuck's 33.
What is he, 20,
Yeah.
26, 27, 20, yeah.
Velarde's 26, Lowry's 33, Nino Niederreiter's 33, Alafalo is 32, Nemestikov's 33. Like,
yeah.
you don't have a
Very
lot of
old
upside
roster.
here. Do I think Winnipeg can make the playoffs? I mean, any team that has Hellebuck could make the playoffs, but you had cap space and you did nothing with it. So I don't know. I don't know. This has been a pretty brutal year. I mean, you bring in Stuart Skinner. Do I think that helps you? I mean, if he's playing backup minutes, I'm sure he'll be solid. If he's your starter, woof. But I don't know. But that's every major move I think that we went through. I'm just gonna double check here, make sure we didn't miss anything. Is there any other move that's worth talking about that we didn't talk about? See, Anders Lee, we talked about that. John Carlson, we talked about that. Ovi, we talked about that. And we talked about Marvrik Bork. Yeah, that's all the trades. I mean, or all the signings and stuff. I mean, the one thing that we didn't talk about, I mean, that we can just, quickly mention here. Let me go to the player dashboard. So, Anthony Mantha, Patrick Kane. Claude Giroux still hasn't signed a contract with Philly. It has been reported that he has, but there has been no details of this contract, and he's still showing on the UFA board. There's rumors now that maybe he goes to Edmonton. I'm not sure what to believe there. Marcus Johansson, Vladimir Tarasenko, Eli Tolvanen, Michael Bunting, JVR, and Evander Kane are all still available on forwards. John Carlson, Logan Stanley, who I'm surprised hasn't signed anywhere, is still available. Nick Blankensberg, Ben Hutton, Matt Grzelcyk, Carl Soucy, Mike Riley, Jeff Petrie, Nick Leddy, and Pierre-Oliver Joseph, all still available defensively. Matt Murray, Connor Ingram, James Reimer, Cam Talbot, and Pierre Mrazek are all available goaltending-wise. Not very many. RFAs, I mean, there's still a lot of RFAs available. I still think we're going to see some offer sheets.
There's a lot of RFAs. I mean, Jason Robertson, Trevor Zegras, Kirby Dach, Cole Perfetti, Jamie Draisaitl, Cole Sillinger, Braden Schneider, Connor McMichael's on there, Igor Shinnikov,
Peyton Krebs, Cole Sillinger, Alexander Nikishin, who was in trade rumors, Simon Nemec, who was traded to Calgary, still
Connor Gauthier is still on there, Kevin Korchinski's on there, Wi-Fi from Montreal, Arbor. Arbor's on there.
Jack Greaves, Akiri Schmid, Artur Silvos. Like, it's
Zach Bolduc.
I think we're gonna see a couple more offer sheets. I just don't know when they're gonna come in. But the one thing that we're learning is there's still a lot of players available, and there's still quite a few teams that still have open cap space to be able to make moves.
There's some teams that have some big cap space, so.
I mean, there's only two teams that are over cap right now, and it's Toronto and Vegas. Everyone else is under. I mean, Philly right now is projected to only have 74, but that's because they have guys that they need to sign. Chicago is projected to be at the salary cap floor without signing Bedard. Pittsburgh's got a lot of money. Calgary's got a lot of money. Columbus has got a lot of money. Detroit, Seattle, Vancouver, the Ducks, and then it kind of just tapers after that pretty quick. But it'll be interesting to see. But that's all we got for signings and stuff, Connor. We doing hot takes or?
Yeah, I might as well. I didn't have anything necessarily planned for this week, just where I knew I was gonna have to jump in. So we'll just spin hot take wheels, and we've got a couple on here, and we'll only pick a couple because we're running on time here, but we'll just spin the wheel. First one. The NHL should permanently expand the playoffs to 20 teams. I think we've talked about this before. I think it's too many.
Yeah, it's too many. It's
Yeah.
too many teams.
Yeah, I think that's
I
a
think
conversation
that
we've
would
had before.
complicate things unless they're doing like a plan thing, and that would still just like that drags the playoffs on too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I would agree with that as well. Now, the second one. Every team should be required to wear a throwback jersey 10 games a season.
I don't even know how hot of a take that
I
is.
think that's just because people enjoy seeing throwbacks. I'm definitely in that camp where I love seeing the throwback jerseys. They're
they
just
have
cool
the
jerseys.
reverse retros.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right? So
I mean,
putting a requirement on it specifically, I mean, I don't think there necessarily needs to be one, but I would love to see them more often.
To me, unless Fanatics is like, you have to play in our jerseys 10 games a year in the reverse retros,
Right.
I can't see the league just mandating
putting
that.
a requirement on it, right?
It would be interesting, but there's also like there's no difference. That to me makes no difference. Like Ryan's like, when Montreal wore the blue jerseys last year, they sucked, and it's like that's not a jersey thing, bro. That's just a team mentality thing for a guy who's like, our team mentality is everything.
Yeah.
Our culture and stuff, it's so good. It's like, well, you can't win in a blue jersey apparently.
Yeah, right. He's not pure enough to play on our team.
So stupid.
Third take, the NHL should televise referee reviews with uncensored audio. So we should see what referees are seeing and hear what referees are discussing.
Last time we had a referee on Hot Mic, he said something along the lines of, I wanted to give a fucking penalty to Nashville early. That guy, Tim Peel from New Brunswick, has never reffed a game since. Stepped away from the game into an early retirement, still got his pension, which I think is bullshit. But anyways, if anyone knows Tim Peel, I would love to interview him. I know that he probably wouldn't give the interview, but like I'd love to ask him just one question. Why? Like, why? Was that a slip? Or was that serious? But he's still getting paid by the league, so I don't think he'd say it, but I don't know. Chime off in the comments. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. As far as that one goes, I don't hate it. I think it would be interesting to see what they're seeing and what they're actually discussing to know exactly what they're thinking and what they're seeing as to why they make the call, because I think there has been a couple of times for sure where we've seen reviews and we're kind of like, okay, well, like, how does that get overturned, or like, okay, but how is that still a good goal?
Agree.
I'd like to just see their thought process, but I agree with you. I think it's probably a PR nightmare, realistically. Like, I don't know if they'd be willing to do it for those particular reasons. So I would agree with you. I agree with you on that one.
I don't think the league would give it.
We'll do one more here.
Okay.
One more, last one. The NHL should adopt international-sized ice.
No. There's a reason why we call it international ice, right?
I know.
Yeah. There's one team in the queue that has international ice.
Yeah.
But it's just such a change. I don't see any reason why you do it. There's been a precedent sent to the person that said that. I'm guessing you don't like physical hockey. That would be like my guess, because like international ice typically leads to less physicality.
It does.
While I'm not a hockey purist, I do like fighting and I do like hitting. So I'm gonna go with no. I think that the NHL is in a better place playing on North American ice than international.
Yep. I'm pretty much of the same opinion. I think you're right, where like international sized ice definitely leads to a lot less physicality. It opens up the ice and gives a lot more space for guys like Connor McDavid, for example, that can do magical things with a puck and a stick.
You already can on North American
Well,
ice.
and that's just it, right? So if you open them up in international ice, I mean, it's kind of hard to say what they'll do. Like, could lead to a lot of like, really cool moments that way. But I agree. I think it takes a lot of the physicality out of it and a lot of specifically neutral zone pressure. Like like guys and teams that love to play like the neutral zone, like blue line trap. I think it's much tougher on international ice. So I agree with you. I think that's totally fair. I think it's just too big. We call it international ice for a reason. I think we should probably just stick with what we have.
I agree. Well, I'd like to give a thank you and a shout out to Connor for stepping up to the plate today, for joining me on here, because it would have just been me talking to a camera this whole time, because Ryan's a bit of a pussy, and Matt said he'd be here and he didn't show up. So we love Connor. This is why he's the GOAT. Editor producer Connor. Talked about a lot of stuff this week. I don't know how much we're gonna have to talk about next week, but maybe we'll start doing our way too early season predictions if there's not a lot of moves, or even if there is a lot of moves, like we'll see how much time we have.
Yeah,
but
we can definitely
appreciate...
get some predictions going. I guess
Mm-hmm.
really if there's any big news in the free agency stuff this week, we'll kind of talk about that, but we can definitely get some predictions going. I think what we'll do as well, just so that we can keep track for like next season and stuff, I will put all of these lovely way too early predictions into some kind of document, and we will look back on them and we will see what we think.
I love it.
But yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do that. Ryan, we can look forward to some solo content coming from all of us. I think we all have different video ideas that we're going to try to get out. But I mean, other than that, we appreciate all the likes, comments that we've been getting on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X. To the people who are hurting my feelings on TikTok, I'd appreciate it.
Keep doing it.
Stop.
Keep doing it.
Stop.
Keep doing it.
Okay. You guys are funny. You guys actually make me laugh. Like, I'm not gonna lie. To the people who are being negative on me, like, it really is just funny. Like, I'm just some guy who talks on a microphone to a camera, and my opinions really upset you guys that much. To me, the funniest part of it is our channel's literally called Off the Boards. We're supposed to make off the boards takes. And I mean, yeah, I'm allowed to hate on whoever I want. So, you know, fuck you guys, I guess. I don't know. You guys talk a lot for people who are behind keyboards and stuff. At least I put my face out there, but anyways, you know, we still appreciate it. So anyways, guys, that's all we got for this week on the pod. We will see you next week.